to another episode of the Sistah Talk. I'm your sister, Miss Beatty, and y'all already know that's with a Z. And this is my sister,
Gold Chain Diva.
And we're just two sisters
with a lot to talk about.
And we always
got a lot to talk about.
We definitely
always.
do. Always. So what's been going on, sis? What's been going on?
Girl, life been lifing.
Honey, has it?
Adulting been adulting. It's just ghetto.
It is ghetto. I'm tired of it.
Real ghetto.
Yes.
But this week for me was a busy week as far as work.
Okay.
A busy week mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I was struggling very heavily mentally this week.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you just gotta take a step away from the hustle and bustle of life and tend to our own personal needs and, you know, just worry about our own well-being. So,
yes.
You know, it was a little rough week for me, but, you know, I always look forward to Friday.
Okay.
Yes. Always look forward to Friday.
Yes.
This is my happy time.
I got you.
What's been up with you?
The question is, what hasn't been up with me? You know, your sister is in the process of getting a home.
Yes.
So, that just let alone is just a lot. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I am drained. I'm drained. I'm tired. I'm ready for it to be over, but I'm also very appreciative and happy. So, with that being said,
it's time to spill the tea.
Let's spill the tea, y'all. Listen, we're going to... Oh, well, this is not funny. I thought we were going to talk about something, but we're going to talk about this first. I just seen it. So, I was scrolling on TikTok, and I seen this horrible incident with NHL hockey player Adam Johnson. He got into, I don't even know what you would call it. Like, he ran into another player on the opposing team. Not only did he run into the player skate came up and sliced him in the throat. Once I seen that the first time I was digging, I was like, oh, I gotta see more videos of this because I like stuff like that. I don't know. I'm like, this looks crazy. I know he probably died, you know, whatever. You had a lot of people commenting on it saying that the other opponent purposely tried to do this to him. It's insanity. If you guys... Hopefully we can put up the video and we won't get tagged on YouTube for it. I'm not really sure how that's going to work.
We'll try.
So, but as you can see in the footage that he literally runs into this opposing team player and the other guy's foot goes up in the air and hits him in the neck. Now, I'm not a big fan of hockey. I know you're not a big fan of hockey at all. Not in any of the hockey sport is this called figure skating where your feet need to leave the ice. So to me it looked intentional. A lot of people are saying speculations that he might go down for murdering him.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, he'll go down for involuntary manslaughter.
Absolutely. They had to stop the game. The game was completely stopped right then because the man started bleeding on the ice.
Immediately, he was leaking.
Yeah. Immediately on the ice. My heart felt so heavy. I was just like, I couldn't imagine being at the game watching this. And it's not kind of crazy because I kind of talked to some of my coworkers about actually going to see a hockey game. I've never been to a hockey game. I don't know if I would like it, but I would like to try it. You know what I mean? Just to say that I did it. But
yeah. I mean, I feel like hockey is definitely too aggressive for me.
Yeah, listen, you got them smacking up against the glass and pushing each other and doing this and doing that.
The whole time, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, and that's the sound. That's the sound that the crowd made. But within this incident, when this had happened, the crowd didn't even do that because they didn't even know that it happened. The game kind of continued until they seen the referee scene.
Yeah, because so when you shared this video to me and I watched it, I actually said, hold up, wait, what do I need to pay attention to? Because I personally didn't see it at first. I felt like I saw it because I saw him stumble, but I didn't realize what was actually going on.
Yeah.
And so it really is an unfortunate situation. And when I actually watched it and I slowed down and I paid attention to the play-by-play, he did look like, he did a roundhouse kick. Like his leg was like, shoom. And there's no reason for your leg to be off the ground. If you was losing your balance, you could have just went with gravity and fell to the ground. It was never that deep for you to,
for you to do that, for you to lift up your leg and bump into somebody and put your skate in their throat.
Yeah, and I think that what you shared about this particular players, and his name is Pat Graves. What is his name?
Pat Graves. Yes, Pat Graves.
Pat Graves. His history alone.
Yes, 71-11, and that was only between 3 games, I think.
And I'm not, like I said, by no means am I a sports person at all. But I did feel like one of my people shared with me in the game of football that if a person is intentionally trying to hurt somebody, it's a thing.
Yes.
And so I wonder if they have rules in place for hockey that's the same way.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. When I stumbled across this, I did a little bit more digging, and I'm like, okay, so is there nowhere in this sport that they wear neck collars that protect them from this, or
it's probably an isolated incident.
Well, this is the thing. Has this happened before? And it has. There's other cases where guys got hit in the throat, but they did not die. This was, let's be honest. We talk about this a lot. Everybody has their phone out. Everybody's recording. Social media is everything. And it's getting, worse. So the fact that they caught this on camera and the fact that he didn't survive from this incident, I feel like it heightens it.
Yeah,
to a whole new level.
I feel like it's definitely up there with the Damar Hamlin situation.
Yes.
Where they immediately got him medical attention and the whole game got canceled after.
Listen, they started medical attention as soon as he made it over to the bench.
And
they said he was dead even before he got to the hospital.
The way he was leaking, the way he was leaking, you knew it was no hope at that point. There was no way they was stopping that blood quick enough.
I know. Isn't that just crazy?
It's definitely sad, and especially if this Pat Graves had ill intent, it's even more sad because, sir, it's never that serious.
Yeah, it's never. You just ended somebody's life, and now your life might be over.
Yeah, well, let's hope.
Yeah. So, sorry to the family. Sorry to he was engaged and he had a fiance, and I feel my heart feels.
That's such a terrible way to die.
Feels bad for her.
Unalive.
You know what I mean? Sorry for the teammates because they were going through it, leaving flowers at their home. Their home field, their home ice rink. Yeah, stop the aggression. The aggression in sports is never that deep.
For real.
It's never that deep.
Well, speaking of sports, it is NBA season.
Oh, Lord.
It is NBA season.
Oh, Lord.
And so, I do want to attend the Bucks game very soon.
Okay, yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I really want to.
Yes.
But I'm sure you all have seen Mr. Flavor Flav. What is Mr. Flavor Flav popping for in the media this week?
This ninja sang the Star Spangled Banner at a game.
The Star Spangled Banner performed tonight by 6-time Grammy Award nominated rapper and artist Flavor Flav.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in there, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Or the land of the free and the home of the brave, of the brave, of the brave.
And when I tell you, if he can sing the Star Spangled Banner at a game, I can sing the Star Spangled Banger. I said banger. Banner at a game. That, he sounded terrible. Oh, I mean, he didn't even hit the first note.
Let me just get my comments on this.
Say, can you? That's how he sounded.
Very unpopular opinion. I'm not by no means am I going to say he sounded good. I would never do that to myself. I've never played myself that way. So I just feel like I have a soft spot for Flavor Flav. I have a really soft spot for Flavor Flav. The reason being is because I admire people who are just themselves regardless. And to hear that he actually said like that was his life, like a thing that he really wanted to do in life.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen, he really like just like we shared on Jill Scott and her national anthem, her rendition of it.
But she can sing.
I get it, but is his dream worth less than hers? Right. He had a dream. He wanted to sing. He wanted to be on that platform. Now, what I will say is, I watch Flavor Flav like everybody else on Flavor of Love.
Okay, yeah.
My stepmother is in love with Flavor Flav, like down, like even to this day, Okay, so I've grown up hearing his CDs.
Oh gosh, I didn't even know he had CDs.
Right now, you know what's so funny? Oh my God. So, Funny Marco actually did an interview with Kevin Hart recently. Funny Marco asked Kevin Hart how he felt about Flavor Flav singing the national anthem.
What did Kevin Hart say?
And basically, like, he asked him, no. He didn't ask him how he felt about it. He asked him to name 3 Flavor Flav songs.
Oh, God.
And when he couldn't, he was just like, well, I didn't know that Flavor Flav had a solo career, like, outside of, like, Public Enemy or whatever. No, he had a whole album. And the only reason why I know this is because, like I said, my stepmother is a diehard fan.
Yeah.
He cannot sing by no means, and I never understood how she was able to actually listen to it and enjoy it. But I give him the benefit of the doubt only because he really wanted to do it. And I feel like, why not, sir? Why not?
I can't give him nothing but the doubt. I can't give him the benefit. I'm sorry. I literally watched it and I was like, What is going on?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though, I was cracking up because as they were panning through the crowd, people was trying not to laugh so hard. I felt bad. But he sang his little heart out. He sang his little heart out. And at least he had perfect pitch because that boy sang crack not one time.
It didn't need to. It didn't need to. Oh,
listen, he gave it his best effort. So for that, sir, I'ma stand by you.
Listen, you see me, I'm just like, okay, well.
But in other spill the tea topics, Young Jock is always in the media for something. Typically,
sorry, I just had to.
Typically for his wild hairstyles or whatever, he's pushing the envelope when it comes to certain things.
Yes,
but
does.
this time, Young Jock, he has a morning show where he's on the radio and stuff like that. But I believe he was being interviewed by somebody.
Okay.
Now the interviewer to me was being extremely pushy. And you could tell that she had an agenda. She was trying to bait him into saying something that would get him canceled.
But what
we want people to be honest,
what makes
but we can't be honest.
Uncomfortable about what you're saying?
I don't understand
the basis.
For one, I don't understand it. The minute I go and do that, my heterosexual community turns on me. Their community is going to turn on me the minute I say, well, I ain't gay. I don't do that.
So it's more about what the heterosexual community will say about
It's the
you?
heterosexual and the homosexual community.
It's what he represents.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a heterosexual man. I'm openly heterosexual. Is that a problem? If you could be openly homosexual, then why is it a problem that I'm openly heterosexual?
So you don't see that there's a problem. If someone says, okay, I understand how you feel, Jock, but I'm offended. You made me feel some type of way. I thought that you were an ally for us, but now it turns out that you're not. Like you don't care about us, and we do not matter.
I am an ally for all human life. Period. But if someone asks me to come to a gay club, all guy gay club, I have the right to say
but what
no.
I'm more so trying to understand
What
is
you trying to understand?
what about it makes you feel uncomfortable?
I'm not
I'm not talking to you, Shawty.
This is what I'm not comfortable with, okay? The minute I go in that space, when I see something that I may not agree with, the minute I see something that makes me uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable. When I see two guys doing what they do, for me, I'm just being honest. I'm not condemning them. You have never heard me denounce them as less than a human. I've never said that we need to rid the earth of them. I'm not that person.
Okay.
I'm just not comfortable with that. They quote unquote, I'm an ally, and I'm quote unquote a part because I've had certain hairstyles. People are gonna say, "Oh, I knew it all along," or they're gonna say, "I told you," or they're gonna say, "Yeah, he one of them."
Well, how come no rapper in your heterosexual community has said, "Well, I stand with Jock. I wouldn't do this either."
Hey, maybe they're afraid of maybe they're afraid of it. Boosie said it. That's why the question was asked.
Nobody cares about Boosie.
You said no rapper.
I am
Whether he ratchet or not, he's a human. He's a man. He's a man. He stands on what he stands on. At the end of the day, listen. I have never condemned the LGBTQ community, ladies and gentlemen. Not one time can you Google me condemning. Not one time have you ever seen me being charged with any hate crime or hate speech towards this community. The reason I said LGBTQAI+ is because, believe it or not, I don't know how to properly address some of these people. I'm just learning that there are pronouns and things of that nature to properly address people. We brought Jermaine in here. What's his name? Paris. He wants me to call Perez. He wanted me to sit here and call him a woman. I'm looking at a man. But I agreed to out of being respectful. I said, okay, ma'am. Okay, sis. Now, he looking at me like you being funny. I'm not being funny. You're being funny. What if I feel like you're being funny because you trying to force me to call you something that I know you're not? See, the problem is you want to be granted all of these rights to say you are whatever you want to be, choose to be, identify as. But the minute I say I choose to agree that I am a openly heterosexual man in 2023, that's a problem.
So in this clip where she's talking to Young Jock, basically she's questioning and trying to make him feel bad for identifying as a heterosexual, like what do you say, a proud heterosexual male.
Okay.
And a statement like that is so innocent when you really think about it. Because why should I not be able to say, I'm a proud heterosexual female?
Right.
That's what I identify as.
Right.
And so what I took from this interview is that she was trying to take his identity away from him. And trying to bait him into this conversation of being homophobic. And even in this video, he constantly says, hey, you know, I identify as a openly heterosexual male. There's certain environments that I just won't go because of what I identify as.
Right.
He even goes as far as to say, I don't condemn these people.
Right.
I don't say we should, you know, send them all to a deserted island. I don't go as far as to condemn them. Like, to each their own, live your life.
Right.
But there's certain things that make me feel uncomfortable. And then she gets to talking like, well, why does it make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
It ain't none of your business.
Yeah, if I feel uncomfortable, I feel uncomfortable.
Like, I'm justified to feel the way that I feel.
Right.
And I feel like, you know, basically she tried to bait him. And I feel like we're in this world where you cannot be true to who you are. You can no longer say things that make you feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta just be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the objective is to make the other group of people feel comfortable, feel accepted.
And how's that fair to the
It's not fair at all.
people? So.
It's not fair at all. But you saw the video. Like, how did you feel?
I like Young Jock. I like Young Jock. I don't feel like anything he said, there was anything wrong with it. If I don't personally want to go to a gay club, I have that right. If I don't want to go to a gay club, I have that right. I mean, I'm saying it. I don't care. I think sometimes...
I'm scared. Listen, when she take that long pause, I get scared.
I think sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie, dyke women.
Please don't cancel her for saying that word. She didn't mean it.
I'm sorry.
That's a derogatory term.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean dyke.
Stud
women. I think sometimes stud women can come off very aggressive. To me.
So, like, come off aggressive, like, towards you as a heterosexual woman?
Absolutely.
Well, story time.
I've been, you know, in a couple incidents where, you know, they have thought or pushed up on me, and I'm just like, no.
Right.
No. Oh, but I can make you one. No. Don't you say nothing like that. That's disrespectful. That's like me coming to you and saying, oh, I can make you like man. You're going to be disrespected. That's the same way that I felt. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. No. And I'm small.
Right.
No.
I mean, listen, well, to give, I guess, another perspective to that, I've never experienced a stud woman like being very aggressive and direct towards me, but I have experienced that from a femme. So
see, now that's a little different.
Yeah, it was like plenty of times where I was a younger woman that femmes were just like, oh and this and this and that, and I've been like, I'm not good.
Right.
Like,
and see, that's the thing. Just with that face that you just made, we don't want to offend them in any type of way because we know about the LGBTQ2 and all of that. We know about that. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to offend. I have friends that are in that community. You know what I mean? So I don't want to offend you, but you also have to respect the other person.
Facts. And I definitely feel like you should be able to express what you're comfortable with and what you're not. And so, personal story time. So I've talked about, you know, having a friend who is a part of the community. And I know there was a time where him and I had a disagreement. And the reason why we had a disagreement is because one of his birthdays, I want to say it may have been like, I don't think it was the 21st birthday, but it was somewhere in our early 20s where he was, you know, sound in the community. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was in it.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was living in one state, I was living in another. And he had a group of friends that were also a part of the community. And as his best friend, you know, he rightfully wanted me to join him and be a part of his birthday festivities because I'm his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And as his friend, knowing that I didn't particularly feel comfortable with certain things, I still tried to go against what I was initially feeling because I didn't want to offend him. I didn't want to be standoffish. Like, I didn't want to immediately say, hey, this makes me uncomfortable and not have experienced it yet.
Yeah.
And so I remember us going to this club. And I was there for all of about maybe 15 minutes before I said, yeah, you have your friends here that are part of this lifestyle in this community and that you can have an amazing time with tonight. I hope that you don't have no hard feelings towards me, but I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I've been in a situation like that several times where I went with a female friend to a shindig. And bro, my eyes ain't nowhere to go. I was like, and not in a bad way. I was just like, I was confused. I'm like, not confused in a bad way. Confused like, dang, he's a man, but like, should I be looking at him like that?
Right.
Like, it was just a lot going on.
Sorry, that
But
really made me think
listen, okay? I'm one of those people, and the dude that was on Hoochie Daddies was at that party.
For real.
So the one dude that, well, you didn't get through the whole season.
I didn't. I couldn't.
You alright, but anyway, so it was a dude that came on that season as a guest and chilled with the Hoochie Daddies in the house or whatever.
Okay.
And so he's known for twerking. He was at that party. Listen, he be throwing it, okay? He was throwing it. Girl, listen. Snoop from The Wire was at that party just casually walking on through. I said, Snoop?
Right.
Look, Snoop, Baltimore Snoop. I'm like, hold up.
That's funny.
But like, for me, I'm one of those, I'll try anything once. So I was like, you know what? I can't say I don't like it until I know for a fact that I don't like it. But I don't think that young jock should be under fire for saying
definitely not.
that I'm going to stand for what I personally believe in and what I'm personally comfortable with.
Right.
But on to other topics. So last week we spoke about the cheesecake lady.
Oh gosh.
We've talked about, you know, this young lady who got picked up for a first date by an Indian gentleman. It went viral because she did not want to be at Cheesecake Factory. We talked about that. Now, what y'all don't know, because I'm sure a lot of y'all don't know, that there was a follow-up interview that happened where her and the guy sat down with the interviewer to talk through that situation. And so what I thought was and so the whole vibe of them sitting down with this interviewer was very pure. I felt like he was coming from a place of love. You know, he was very soft with his approach. Like, he wasn't trying to bash her.
Yeah.
But he more so took it as an opportunity to teach her how to be softer or still, you know, be true to what you believe, but like not so aggressive like with it.
Right.
And so she came to the table. She was very receptive. She was very accepting of, you know, the situation and optimistic about it. And so basically they get to asking, you know, the Indian guy like his perception of what happened. And a big part of his perception was he was taken aback by having a camera in his face. And I know that we talked about that was rude.
Yeah.
But he was just like, he felt like she was trying to embarrass him.
Right, because he brought her to the Cheesecake Factory. So he had to say his piece, which he did.
Very much so. And I think that the interviewer, like, I think it struck him so well for that reason. Because he was just like, you carried yourself well. You carried yourself in a way that we don't get to see men, like, kind of put their foot down and know what they want and relay that message and communicate that.
Right.
So, you know, needless to say, this interview, you know, gave them the opportunity to explain different points of view, different sides of, you know, the discussion or whatever. But yes, it was a very good interview. And for those who don't know, the young man's name was Jay. The woman's name was Alicia. And the interview was by the Truth Factory. And so they open up by, you know, asking Jay or Alicia, like, how has your life been changed? Mind you, it was only like 3 weeks.
Right.
after the video or something like that went viral, how life had changed since then. And basically, one of the things that I thought was so crazy was he said that people look at him in a negative light now, like they don't want to date him because they got a prejudged image of him. And I'm just like, how, Sway? How? Because I felt like he did everything that he was supposed to do in that situation. Like, can you see any reason why any woman would be like, I saw that video I don't really like how you handled that?
I mean, I just feel like maybe somebody wanted the attention of the social media to say that they didn't like how he approached the situation, because I feel like he was very, very respectful. Like, how can you not respect what he did?
Yeah.
He said, I'm taking you home. What else did you want him to say?
Yeah, like,
oh, let's go into the Cheesecake Factory? Like,
right.
No. Oh, okay, you said you want to go into the Cheesecake Factory now, let's go into the Cheesecake Factory? No, you did all that. Look how I look, and then and this and that. Like, girl, bye.
Yeah, and they even gave her opportunity to like kind of comment on, why she kind of carried that attitude. So I think,
what was her reasoning? Because I didn't really get the tune all the way in. So what was her reasoning for carrying her attitude like that?
So to her, that's like bred in her. That's who she is. That's how she was raised. And so I think a lot of things, like a lot of women in this country grow up being raised, I'm the prize, I'm the prize, I'm the prize, I'm the prize. And so in her mind, she's supposed to be, anything she say goes. Because she was raised somebody's little princess.
Okay.
And that's not reality.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, you gotta raise your kids to hear no.
Yeah.
She was raised to, well, you're courting me, so whatever I want, I get. If you spend money on me, do this, like, all this grandiose gesture. Wow. So that's why she says, well, I was raised a certain type of way. These are my expectations. But she also was very, I want to say, remorseful. She acknowledged the fact that she didn't act in the best way. She acknowledged the fact that she didn't treat him with the amount of respect that he should have received. So she definitely acknowledged her faults in the situation. Now, one of the things that I think that Jay, which is the guy she was on a date with, I think that he spoke about during that interview, that I think he made a good point that I want to talk about. And so basically he says, because they went back and they talked about like how they met each other and stuff like that. And so basically they met each other at a bar, they exchanged numbers, and they talked for about a week or so before he said, hey, do you want to go out on a date?
Okay.
Now when he texted her about this date, he said he didn't tell her where they were going. He said it's going to be a surprise. So do you think, because he said this, but do you think that him saying that it was a surprise set an unrealistic expectation of what he was going to do for her?
A surprise is a surprise. So I really don't feel like, I mean, I hate to sound like rude, but like if somebody is surprising me with something, I'm gonna be happy regardless of what the surprise is. No matter if you was taking me, okay, maybe not to McDonald's, but if you took me to the Cheesecake Factory, oh, this is nice. Like, be appreciative. Like, and I don't think it's a big deal.
And to add to that, he even said, because we all know, like, he pivoted. Like, he had something else planned.
Right.
But
she was taking forever.
Exactly. But he said, hey, like, he even cleared this up on the interview. He said, I love Cheesecake Factory. Aww. Like, this is one of my favorite places to go. He was very proud about Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. So he wasn't trying to give her anything that was beneath her. It was really something that he really enjoyed and he really wanted to share it with her.
That is, sis, you don't deserve him
at all. But now,
did they end up going on another date?
Wait. Listen, hold that thought. Ask that question again in just a moment because I got an answer for you. Okay. But now I want to ask your opinion as a woman, because I had this conversation with some of my coworkers. Okay. And one of which was an older Caucasian woman. Okay. Who, I guess, I don't know if she's divorced or whatever, but she's currently single. And she's in a dating pool. And so some women, she let me know, like, some women like surprises. Some women like a man that say, hey, I got a reservation here at this time. I'm coming to get you at this time. and be ready.
Right.
Some people like the option.
Right.
So you personally, as a woman,
yes,
would you prefer? So say, okay, he had Aria set up for you, right?
okay,
And because of whatever reason, you take it too long to get dressed, y'all missed the reservation. Do you feel at that moment him pivoting to Cheesecake Factory was the right thing, or would you have valued him to say, "Hey, where would you like to go?"
I would have been appreciative of him taking me to the Cheesecake Factory. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Because at the end of the day, it was her fault why she didn't get to go to that first restaurant. And we know, well, shit, I know, as a woman, I'm long-winded when it comes to getting dressed for something, a special.
She is not just special on a daily basis. She is long-winded.
I can't help it.
Sistah say at 8 a.m. I'm getting dressed. It'd be 7 p.m. All right, girl, I'm putting my lashes on now.
Yo, I really, and it's so sad because I really am. Like, I can't help it. So if I knew that it was, you know what I mean, my fault,
you would be more humble.
I would be humble about it. And honestly, the type of person that I am, I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And she should have apologized.
I'm so sorry for keeping you this long. I'm so sorry, but this came up. Whatever. I took longer than expected. Let's go have a fun date.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I feel like in that discussion with my coworker, like different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Like some women like the idea of a man, you know, saying, "Hey, babe, you don't gotta think about anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of this for you."
Yeah.
Some women prefer the option.
Yeah.
Some women want the option of saying, "Hey, well, I know this didn't work out. Where would you like to go?"
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's not like, I don't know. I feel like that's that new. What is the word I'm looking for? It's that new
Generation.
Well, just what is it? Feminist. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like a feminist mindset where women are like, to an extent, and I'm gonna tiptoe on this.
Okay.
A feminist thing where women like feel like they don't want nothing from a man type thing.
Gotcha.
And that fits into that like, well, I can think for myself.
Well, and I'm not, so listen, in my 31 years, and this is really sad, not really sad, it's good, but it's sad, but it's good, I don't know. For my anniversary, my boyfriend surprised me, told me to get dressed. I had no idea what restaurant we were going to. Man, I was so happy. I was sitting in that restaurant like this. He said, you would have thought, like, listen, we went to Black and Blue in Camp Hill.
That sounds familiar, and I feel like somebody told me about that before.
Oh my gosh, T. We gotta go. It was amazing. I had bacon sandwich with fry. It was amazing. I had my little glass of wine. It was amazing. I had a good time. So, yeah, I could say it doesn't matter. He could surprise me, and I would be happy with anything. But I'm just appreciative.
Yeah, I agree.
That girl's not.
I definitely agree. So they definitely no, so your question. Let's get back to your question.
Yes.
Your question was, did they go on a second date?
Yes, did they?
So at the time of this interview, they had not. But the interviewer asked them, "Hey, knowing all of what you know now," because he gave both of them an opportunity to speak their piece.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what you know now, would you want to go on a second date with each other?
Who answered first? Her.
The guy.
And what'd he say?
So when he answered, he said, because he also shared a little bit about his background and like his family, like he's from Iran or something like. Well, no, he said India, but it was just a lot going on with his family getting into America. So certain things that he valued differently than she does, and so basically he said, look, if we can find some type of middle ground between what our values are and what we expect from each other, then yes, I will go on a second date. She said she would go on a second date. But personally, I think, and I know that she didn't say it, and I know that she wouldn't say it. I feel a part, and they addressed this too on the interview. I feel like she probably really was trying to like be in his pockets, because they talked about how a lot of women, we choose to go on dates for what we can get out of the situation. And when they brought that up, she was like,
No.
Yes, she was. She was all for it. So I really, and then the furthermore is the interviewer says, well, we're going to do it like the old school talk shows and we're going to send y'all on a date. Now she...
She should be lucky that once she goes on a date with him, if he don't got 50 million women lined up.
Yeah, listen, he was, the whole time I'm watching this interview, I'm like, oh my God, he's such a sweet man.
Oh.
He's such a sweet man. He had a kind heart.
Oh, see?
And I will say, like, I don't believe that she was totally, like, a pit bull. Like, I think that she really did have some genuine interest in him. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I was like, whoa. Because I could identify with. So in their meetup, like when they met each other, she was at a bar. He was at a bar. He doesn't go out often, he said, and he realized that there was a lot of men that seemingly was interested in her, but they may have been intimidated by her and didn't approach her. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna walk up to her and shoot my shot. He said he goes over there. Now the thing is, he's clearly small. She's 6'1".
Whew, that's a tall woman.
I'm a tall woman. Mm-hmm. So I get it. And so, you know, they asked her about like, well, they didn't even ask her about this. She volunteered this information about like, she wasn't initially attracted to him, but after them talking, it, you know, grew and she liked more things about him or whatever. And basically she was saying like her type would be like taller, her height or taller. And the interviewer like humbled her real quick. He's like, so do you realize that most, like he gave her stats. I'm like, hold the hell up. Where is this man pulling these stats from?
Right.
Talking about, well, it's like that leaves 3% of men that actually match up to the height that you want them to be. So do you realize that you're narrowing down the dating pool for yourself? And I was like, we as women, we have a lot of expectations of what we want our man to look like and stuff like that. And we just hold so tight to it, not realizing that as much as we swipe left, we are like literally taking away a lot of our choices.
Right. Or a blessing that you may not even know about.
In disguise. But yeah, like we said, for those tuning in, we reviewed a book called How to Tame a Fuckboy. Yes. Go to the link in my bio to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. This episode will be in entirety posted there 2 Mondays from now. So I think that was everything that we have for you all tonight.
That was a lot.
It was a nice episode. Listen, we talked about fuckboys. We talked about Flavor Flav singing the national anthem. Jesus. Look, Miss Beatty gonna have nightmares about that for the rest of her life.
You already scares me. Shoot.
Listen, I love Flavor Flav. He's such a sweet man.
Man, all I'm gonna hear in my sleep is Flavor Flav. Oh man, no. But
well, thank you all for tuning in tonight for another episode of the Sister Talk podcast. I'm your host, Gold Chain Diva, and this is my sister,
Miss Beatty, and y'all already know that's what it is.
And we're just two sisters.
Yes.
With a lot to talk about.
And we always got a lot to talk about.
We always got a lot to talk about. So if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow me at goldchain__diva, and you can follow my sister
MZ_BD, and that's on all platforms, y'all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, y'all.